This is the Mottura Champions C43 PLUS. Key works. Come on out. Let's try to pick it. Alright, so applying clockwise tension and going after the normal pins. Picking it Euro style. I will explain why later. If I get it picked. This is not the way I'm used to pick dimple locks, or any locks for that matter, but it's quite helpful in this lock because it makes stage 2 that much easier. Okay, good. There's our full set. Now let's find those spools in chambers 2 and 3. And these pins are very high cut. So the setting them is very annoying. Something clicked, but of course I lost the full set, but that's normal. Let's try to recover. Can we recover? Let's see what we dropped. I think it was 5. Having a hard time reaching him. I think I just did. I dropped something else in the process. It was 4. Got our full set back. We'll see for how long. And most likely not too long, but I think we got 3 set, so that's good. Now there's another pin that's even higher cut, and that's pin 2, so it's probably the most problematic pin in the lock. Let me try to find the correct angle of attack. Definitely not this one. It would be too easy. So suspiciously easy. Something had to drop. Come on, buddy. There's the problem. A little movement on the core after pushing 1. Still don't feel the real full set though. This is not it. Surely not. Oh, touched 5 and something happened. Feels like we have our pin set. Alright, so I'm gonna try to manipulate the rotating pins that are located at the top of the keyway, and I'm gonna use this tool that I made. They bind really hard into the sidebar, which is always a nice thing, you know. Okay. I'm trying to move number 1. He's not cooperating, but I think we got him where he belongs. Same on 2 now. Come on. Have to kind of bounce on the pin to get him to move. I think he did, but I need one more movement out of him. Okay, I think I got it. And he's in his gate. Let me see if I can move 3 now. He's resisting so far. And he's not resisting anymore. Got the lock picked. Nice. Okay. So let's get this gutted. This is a really annoying lock to gut because there's a lot of stuff happening in there. So I better get started and make some space here. Okay. Just a second while I rearrange this desk. Okay, I think this should work. Grab a shim, or maybe not. Oh, here is one. Okay. So, as I said, this lock is, or I didn't say that. Anyway, it's a very interesting lock. It's an Italian lock, and the mechanism of the sidebar, the rotors, are quite unique, at least to me. I haven't seen anything similar anywhere else. I will show you as soon as I remove this circlip. Okay, he's on his way. Come on. Okay, he's out. Let me shim it now. Where's the shim? There it is. Okay. So turn it like this. And shim it. There's a lot of stuff happening inside of the lock, and there are pins or a sidebar basically on every single side of the core. This is a really old shim. I could have chosen something better. Okay, looks like he's going in. Get in there, boy. And let me also use the plug follower. That's not ideal for this lock, but I don't have a bigger one, so let's just hope this works. Okay, we got the core out. Perfect. Okay, so passive pins are facing to me. I'm gonna drop the sidebar that's on the other side. We got them out, and the springs as well. Now what will we do? Let's drop the rotating pins, why not? This is 4, 3, 2, and there's 1. Get out, Adi. Okay, he's out. And how about we drop the passive pins now? Can we do that? We can. 1. Or we cannot. Okay, I'm just gonna dump them all at once because I have a picture of them. So, oopsie, shouldn't have done that. Is that all of them? There's one more actually. There he is. And let's drop the key pins now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hello? Okay. Wow, this is a core with a lot of holes in it. Okay, let me remove the drivers now. And we'll take a look what's inside. Great. There's 1. There we go. There's 2. 3. 4. And 5. Let's finish this gut with removing the springs. There they are. Nice, we got everything out. Okay, let me just rearrange this real quick and show you what's inside. Alright, so let's start with the key pins, I guess. Oops, this is good. Key pins. Normal key pins look like this. They are very pointy, so kind of hard to grab onto or push them, but it's not that difficult. We got even some of these torpedo-like key pins. I don't think I ever overset a torpedo in this lock, but it's always a possibility, I guess, if it were in other chambers maybe. So key pins look like that, and drivers, we have a standard in number 1. We have a spool with, I don't know if there's a taper, maybe with some fantasy there is, but it's just a spool. And number 3 also spool. 4 is a standard, and 5 is a spool as well. Now these were the normal pins, but the interesting part about this lock is the sidebar and the rotating pins that interact with it. So this is the sidebar. You can see it has 4 little tabs protruding out of it, and these tabs go into the cuts in the rotating pins. And these are the rotating pins. This little knob sticks out into the keyway, and as you can see, the sidebar has 1 deep through gate, and left of the through gate there's a false gate. It looks like it's very shallow, but it is, but it binds kind of hard, and The thing is that the side pins start to bind, not side pins but rotating pins start to bind quite late in the picking process, so at that time the sidebar is leaning pretty hard against it. Let me show you how the rotating pin behaves. If we put it in the lock and insert the key, okay, not exactly sure if it's the correct orientation, but I just want to show you what does it look like. The range of motion of the rotating pin is quite wide. I would say around 120 degrees maybe. Okay, so let's see what happens if we insert the key. You can see that the pin is rotating, right, just like that, and you can also see the track that is for those rotating pins. First I thought it will be just like a normal, or one would think that it would be like a normal, I don't know, NT5 plus slider mechanism, but it's not. It's actually not. So if, or when you're setting those rotating pins, you cannot only push the knob to the side, but you also have to bear in mind that it actually makes this kind of motion. So it's not just it's just the trajectory is kind of different. So you need to think about it, how to apply the force to the rotating pin. Well, and yeah, so it's kind of interesting. I've never seen this mechanism before, so it was new for me. This is the core. You can see lots of holes in it for the passive pins in here for the key pins, and this one is unpopulated, but it's used for higher model of this lock, which is I think the C48 or 49 plus, and this is where the interactive element goes. Okay, and this is the slot for the sidebar and 4 slots for the rotating pins. Right, so the keyway is pretty open. There's some wording, but nothing too terrible. Actually, the biggest problem I think in this lock were the super high lifts. That's one thing, and the other thing is that, yeah, I wanted to mention why I was picking this lock Euro style. Thank you, Moxie, by the way, for this tip. I would never probably start doing it, but as you can see, if you pick this lock normally, like Bible up, the key pins are hanging down regardless of if you set the drivers or not. They just hang down into the keyway and you cannot access these rotors properly. The key pins really get into way. But if you turn the lock around and pick it Euro style, most of the set driver pins or the matching key pins fall down and they get out of the way, and you have lots of space to at the top of the keyway to set the rotors. So if you ever get to pick this lock, I really recommend it doing it this way, although it may be unnatural for you. It surely was for me, but it really helped me in the phase 2 picking the rotors. Alright, so I guess that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.